It's World Engineering Day. This year, it is being celebrated on the theme, Engineering Innovation for a More Resilient World. Last week, we had an engaging discussion with Mr. Collin Brown, entrepreneur and principal engineer at Raenergy. Today, he joins us again along with Xia-Xiang Claxton, quality engineer at Surrey Paving and Aggregates Co. Limited. I apologize for your name. I can't get your name, okay? Cher, okay.
Singer.
Oh, the singer, okay, Xia-Xiang Claxton. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Thank you very much.
Morning, thank you for having us.
Ready. So, can we start with explaining the theme for this year's?
So, World Engineering Day this year is recognized, celebrated on Saturday, March 4th. Okay. So today, Xia and I are here to recognize the day, recognize the impact of engineering in society, and bring recognition to engineers, technicians, technologists, those practitioners in the field. The theme for this year, you summarized the theme a moment ago, but specifically it's encouraging engineering education and education in the science, technology, engineering, math, STEM fields. Okay. These are the subjects that lay the foundation for pursuing a career in engineering.
Okay. All right, so in terms of that encouragement, what can you say is being done specifically, apart from your being here today, to encourage that participation in those fields?
Well, engineering is a discipline and a profession that requires lifelong learning. It's a education, lifelong learning is part of the engineering practice and discipline. Various of our colleagues are making media appearances during the week of engineering, as well as on Engineering Day. There are colleagues visiting schools today. There was a series of school visits yesterday, and this is a practice that happens annually, where we have an outreach to science students, to students in the STEM fields, encouraging them to stick with it. We understand it's a difficult discipline at times, and it can be a challenge to have mastery in science and math, but this is the career path that's out there for you.
When I hear that, honestly, I just think that if my engineer weren't good, my plane would either fall to the ground or the bridge that I'm driving over would collapse. So it's very important from a practical point of view.
Okay, so you mentioned auto engineers. Is there an association here on St. Kitts?
Yes, there is. There is a National Society of Engineers in St. Kitts.
Okay, so for an engineer that is not in that society, how can they get into that society?
Reach out to myself, reach out to any engineer. The engineering community in St. Kitts, it is sometimes invisible, but it's a close-knit. It is a brotherhood and a sisterhood. Okay. And so even those of us who are not active in the National Society, we know of our colleagues who are, and we can put you in contact with the network.
Okay. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I would like to be a member of the society, but I don't think they are as active as they would like to be, so I don't hear much about them. Oh. So I'm glad he mentioned that.
All right. Cher has put you on this.
Will do.
All right. Well, as the two of you are here, I have to say, you're changing the face of engineering, particularly Cher, because I don't know what it is, but when I thought of engineering, one, I thought it wasn't really as attractive to younger people. And secondly, to be a young woman in the engineering field. I'm curious about your experiences. What did you like about the field, and how have your experiences been?
I've always been interested in math and science ever since I was attending primary school. And I don't know if it was ignorant, but I never really thought of it as a male-dominated field. I just knew I was interested in math and science. I was interested in how things work. I wanted to know how they work, and so I just pursued it.
That's great. And your respective specializations, tell us more about what you specialized in.
Well, my discipline is actually transportation engineering. So we deal with roads, different types of pavements, roads, airport runways, basic footpaths or sidewalks, as we will call them. So I'm working as a quality engineer for Surrey Paving, and that's basically our specialty. We specialize in civil works, roads, airport runways. We do a bit of drainage infrastructure as well.
So what about airport runways that you would have to inspect to ensure that it's up to par?
Well, we're not designers, we're more of contractors.
Okay.
So we would get a design from a consultant, and we have to ensure that whatever materials that we need to construct the runway are right for the job.
Okay.
Because you don't want the plane to land and destroy the runway. So we have to make sure that all the materials are strong enough, make sure that the workmanship that goes into carrying out the works, paving the runway, are done in accordance to all of the quality standards to ensure that we produce a good final product.
Okay.
So we do inspections, we do material testing, things like that.
Okay.
Collin, remind our viewers, those who might have missed, of course, about your specialization.
I'm an electrical engineer.
All right.
It's interesting hearing Xia, who is at a quite competent and proficient engineer, but who is at the earlier stages of her career than I am. And
Giving us his age.
That pride in recognizing your contribution to society. So, as Xia said, okay, her role is not on the design side, and her role is not necessarily on the maintenance side, but she communicates very clearly the singular importance of the part she plays in the entire team that allows us, as you just said, to get on the plane and get it in the air, get it in the air safely,
And land safely.
and land
I like
safely.
that, shares and land safely.
Very, very brilliant.
I like that. Collin, I was listening to the program last night, You Beat, and I heard you said you have about 25 years in this business. So over the 25 years, can you tell me what you would have learned initially, what you have learned until now? And I can't ask you what you're going to learn in the future. So let's talk about the beginning and until now.
What I learned initially is that while I knew I wanted to be an electrical engineer, I did not know what an electrical engineer was.
Okay.
I distinctly remember the moment where I returned from campus. I was here. She and I attended the same campus, University of West Indies, St. Augustine Engineering Faculty, and we also stayed on the same hall of residence. We were both minarets, many years apart.
Okay.
But I remember returning from campus to Minna Hall, and saying, okay, I still think I want to be an engineer, an electrical engineer, but what I thought an electrical engineer was.
That's not what it was.
But it has been rewarding 25 years.
Okay.
What I've learned is that continuous learning is the key to professional and also personal satisfaction in the profession. You may have heard me say last night, the profession and the discipline requires various skills.
Yeah.
Not all of them will be your cup of tea. Just in the same way, for some of our students, math won't be a cup of tea. They would prefer technical drawing or architecture.
Okay.
Physics might not be a cup of tea. You prefer geography. It is a multidisciplinary profession, and all of those scientific and applied science disciplines have their role to play in engineering as a profession. So whatever your cup of tea, yes, you must be multidisciplinary, but you can find your niche and your passion in engineering.
Is there continuous certification, Share?
It depends. I would say that it's important for a practicing engineer to join a professional society.
Okay.
So for example, I'm a part of CIHT, that's the Chartered Institution for Highway Engineers.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But it's basically for engineers that are involved in the transportation engineering industry. And it allows you further or continuous professional development.
Okay.
So like Collin said, you're always learning, and joining a society allows you to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, after listening to Collin, I want to know if you knew what engineering was before you decided to get into it, or have you since had to reevaluate?
Actually, no, because I only became interested in transportation engineering in my second year of UE when I was exposed to a transportation project. And I said, oh, okay, I think this is something that I would really enjoy, especially knowing that there were no transportation engineers in St. Kitts. So So it was in my second year of UE, I realized that the engineering sector or the engineering industry is so wide. There are so many different disciplines in engineering.
So are you the only transportation engineer on St. Kitts and Nevis?
I think so.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, that must be. Okay, well, can we talk about that for a little bit? As the only one, how exciting is it to see the knowledge that you've learned be implemented in ways that perhaps other people would not have realized were it not for your input?
Well, for me, it's very empowering because it kind of helps me to make a statement. You know, whenever I'm on site and I'm explaining different things to the workmen, I'm sharing my knowledge, I'm telling them exactly what is supposed to be done so that it's done in a proper way. It's empowering, and it also makes me proud to see that I'm diversifying the field.
Yeah, so okay. Good stuff. Collin, anything to add?
I feel like you want to say something.
All I want to add is you're doing an excellent job, and you made a considerable impact on the Federation, both in St. Kitts and Nevis. When you're driving home in St. Kitts or driving home in Nevis,
The smooth roads.
the smooth roads,
Thank you.
Engineer Claxton.
Nice, nice, nice.
Okay, thank you for. Yeah, we're going to talk about the potholes later. I thank you for now. All right, so World Engineering Day is definitely today. Resilience is one of those words that keeps coming up. Ways in which engineering can make the world more resilient.
Sure, take it away.
Okay, well, sustainability is a huge thing right now. And because engineers are innovative in the solutions that we come up with to meet society's need, we have the opportunity to change what we do to meet sustainable needs or to make structures more resilient, because we have global warming, rising sea levels, all of the things that can affect our livelihood and our structures. So we have a responsibility, we have the knowledge to impart into whatever solutions we come up with so that we can make everything that we do, everything that we build more resilient so that it can last for a very long time.
And that's important work.
Indeed.
Yes.
So Collin, let's touch on your company, Raenergy. What have you done along with your other, or should I say your team to ensure that Raenergy continues to be resilient?
Well, we have a diversified team. It's interesting that you speak about resilience. So resilience and reliability are two targets that you would consider in an engineering project. So, as well as cost, as well as how quickly you can deliver. And similarly to what she has shared with changes in the environment, whether it's climatic changes, economic changes, we not only have to deliver solutions that are resilient, that we anticipate can respond and continue to provide services when the challenge arises, but we also have to build organizations that are resilient, that can continue to provide service as well with a changing economy, a changing society. So many of the team that contribute to Raenergy are not local to St. Kitts, though there are key people also local to St. Kitts. So we draw on a network extra regionally. That is one thing that makes our team resilient. So we can scale up, we can scale down, we can bring in expertise. We have people on the ground. I would dare say it is not unique to our team, but it is indicative of how things are changing. Multidisciplinary professionals working in multi-stream teams. So someone who is good in their specific discipline can contribute to 3 or 4 teams. They can find outlets for their passion. Rather than in a traditional organization, if the opportunity is not there for you at that moment, you might feel compelled to leave that organization to seek opportunity. Whereas most of our teams work in multiple organizations and they have a supportive network that understands professional development. And as engineers, I hope Xia will share it. The landscape for contributing has become global. Xia can stay in St. Kitts and consult for Dubai engineering company on a project in Kuwait.
Oh, wow.
And do an excellent job. And we have professionals here in St. Kitts and Nevis as well in the Caribbean who do that, who contribute and consult with all of the world-class agencies and organizations on projects throughout the globe, whether it's the UN, World Bank, CDB, what have you. So there you have it.
So sure, Collin said that. So let's say you can't travel to Dubai to do that consultation. How easy or how hard is it?
It's very easy. We have Zoom, we have Teamworks, we have a whole host of software that we can use to link with each other virtually.
Okay. All right.
In an effort to improve the public understanding of the importance of engineering, our guests will join forces. It's actually working together, nothing new to you guys, I'm sure. You're going to join forces to answer some frequently asked questions about engineering, and we're going to be prompted. So let's go to the prompt now. The very first question, frequently asked question, is what do engineers do?
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
In short, engineers solve problems, but if we want to get into the technical terms, engineers are individuals who use their scientific and technical knowledge and skills in an innovative way to meet the needs of society or to fulfill the needs of society. So if there is a challenge that society is facing, then an engineer will probably come up with a solution to fix it.
Okay. Feasible definition. Collin, why should one become an engineer?
One should become an engineer if one has a passion for the sciences as well as a passion for creativity and innovation. If one wants to make a contribution to the lived world, the built world in society, if one wants to solve problems in the physical world to make life better.
Okay.
This is not a frequently asked question. You're prompting me to ask you. I'll hold my question until we get through the frequently asked questions. All right. So here's the other other frequently asked question. It reads: do I need a degree to work as an engineer?
We're taking turns.
Okay. To work as an engineer, to practice as an engineer, I will say yes.
Okay.
You need a degree. There are some persons who work within engineering, and Collin used the terms technicians or technologists who don't necessarily need a degree, but you may need some sort of certification.
Okay.
But if you do want to become an engineer, then I would say that you need a degree. And the degree also offers a freedom to choose whatever career path you want to get into for engineering, because like we've said before, it's multidisciplinary. So if you attain an engineering degree, you can work in law, you can work in medicine, you can work in business, consultancy, you can work for the government. So it offers you a whole array of options.
On the program last night, I heard them speak about undergraduate and graduate. What degree is of utmost need?
A bachelor's degree.
Okay.
After gaining your bachelor's degree, in some countries, you can then work for a minimum of maybe 2 years, like in Jamaica, to become a registered engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you will just need your bachelor's degree. It just means that if you don't have a master's degree, it will take much more time for you to become a registered engineer, whereas if you get your bachelor's and your master's, then it may take less time for you to become a registered engineer.
Okay. I like that clarification.
We're continuing with the frequently asked questions. It's not over
my
yet.
turn. I hope you're doing well.
So how long does it take to become an engineer? Collin, this is your question.
So I'll answer in two parts.
Okay.
First, how long does it take to obtain an engineering degree, which is typically 4 years, 3/4 years. In some programs, some disciplines, depending on what level of education you enter the program with, up to 5 years. So that is to obtain an engineering degree.
Okay.
Similar to other professions such as medicine and law, however, having an engineering degree only does not make you a practicing professional engineer. So there'll be a certain amount of on-the-job training, mentorship. In certain jurisdictions, there are a series of professional examinations that you must undertake and pass at certain stages. As well, in certain jurisdictions, the profession is well regulated such that a practicing registered professional engineer will have to certify as to your competency and oversight of your work. So you would work and practice under a certified or professional engineer, chartered engineer, or professional engineer. Certain jurisdictions, you'll have to present your body of work certified to the Professional Engineering Association, the registration board, what have you, and mentorship plus the degree plus experience, continuing education as well is a requirement to become a practicing professional engineer.
That's a lot.
But it is fun.
Says the engineer.
All right, that's what you're going to lead with. That's fine. It's fun. And it should be. It should be rewarding if you're engaged in that type of work. All right, so we continue with the frequently asked questions. This one is actually very simple. So sure, it seems like you get the easy one. The last one, in fact.
I smell a setup.
Can anyone become an engineer?
Anyone can become an engineer as long as you're passionate about making a difference, like Collin said, in the world, you can become an engineer.
All right, with that.
Nothing to add.
Nothing. Well, you know what? You're going to add something now, because I said I was holding my question until after, and it was hearing you talk about innovation. I'm thinking that the projects that you work on, the way that you solve problems, as you alluded to, no two people, no two teams solve the same problem in the same way. So there is that avenue for creativity, is there not?
Yes.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. So we get to be very engineers now for a moment. So similarly to, you could say the same way two musicians might play the same piece of music, but each with a different flair. Or two dancers might have a different interpretation of a piece of music. Similarly, so engineering disciplines have their core constructs and their definitions and their boundaries and the constraints of the profession, and then each individual professional will bring their flair. If you like arches, when you're designing a building, you're gonna have your little signature arch in the corner. If you're the guy who likes, just an example, red lights. So when we're doing the lighting design, I like a particular shade of red, and that is going to be my signature. And on. We could go on and on. The opportunities for bringing your creativity, both from purely technical. We need more water. What out of the box solution can I bring to increase the supply of water? To I like blue boats, and I'm going to make sure all the piping has blue boats. There's a vast opportunity for bringing creativity, novel approaches to problem solving, and your personal flair in your work as an engineer. I won't let you not add something.
I don't have anything else to add.
All right, well, thank you for indulging us. Happy World Engineers Day when it comes around.
Thank you.
This Saturday. And Xia-Xiang Claxton, Collin Brown, any final words?
Two ladies first.
Okay. I would just like to say that engineering is a very significant profession in the world. Sometimes it doesn't seem that way because we're most times in the background. Everybody just sees the final product, but there is so much that goes into everything that we do in every discipline of engineering. So I would just like everybody to respect our profession, and for any young persons out there who are thinking of going towards or gaining an engineering career, I would say go for it. Don't allow anything to hold you back, just go for it. It's a very rewarding profession, and I enjoy it very, 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 very much.
Ooh, we got a lot of berries.
So to our colleague engineers, thank you for your contribution to our lives. Keep on practicing our profession to a high degree. During this week, and as well as in recognition of World Engineering Day, reach out to our teachers and students of our sciences, our technical vocational subjects, or arts or mathematics, and encourage them to keep doing the important work that is at the foundation of our profession, educating our students who will be the future engineers and technologists.